Hello, my name is Danny Wright. Sorry that we are getting to you a little bit late. We are working on those live stream keys right now. I am so excited to be joining you from one of the coolest offices in Tucson. This is the Proper Villains LLC headquarters, and they are helping us with a lot of our tech stuff. And I am so excited to be welcoming you to Can You Hack It? We have PCC's IT Center for Excellence people here, and let me introduce them. We have Chris Bonehorst is here. He's the Academic Director of Information Technology and has taught a variety of system administration and security courses. We also have Will McCullen, who is the Advanced Program Manager for the IT Center of Excellences and teaches Introduction to Wireshark. Okay, take it away.
All right, thanks everybody for attending today. Real quick, I'm going to be doing the majority of the presentation today. Will's going to be on chat, so if you have questions or anything like that, please throw them out there and he'll interrupt as needed, and we can jump in and answer questions as we go.
I'm good at interrupting.
Yeah, he's very good at interrupting. So let me share my screen here real quick with everybody. Okay, so real quick on why we're here. So Pima College, we have an IT Center for Excellence. As what that means is we teach programming, we have system administration, we have security, but it's a hub for all things IT is what we're building. And with that, we've partnered with a group called the Arizona Cyber Warfare Range. So at our East Campus, we have an actual cyber warfare range where people can come and learn how to hack in a nice, safe environment. There's equipment there, there's things to play with. It's a lot like a makerspace for hacking. So it's a great place to go once COVID is over and it's reopened. It's open for the community, whether you're a student at Pima or not. So definitely look it up, and we'd love to see you there later on. So the game plan for today, we're going to talk a little bit about careers in IT briefly, and then we're going to jump into a demo and some hands-on activities that you guys can do hacking. So basically, we're going to walk through some actual hacking exercises. All you need on your end is a web browser, preferably Chrome for what we're going to be doing if you want to follow along. If you don't want to follow along, that's fine. The environment's going to be up for a little while, so you'll be able to play with it afterwards if you would like. So. Okay, so real quick, when people say they want to get into IT, the first thing we ask is, what does that mean? What part of IT do you want to get into? There's a whole bunch of different areas. Systems administration, that's like doing cloud computing, making sure people's websites are up and running, things like that. Networking is making sure everything can still talk to each other. All the computers can get out to the internet, all that kind of stuff. Programming, I'm sure some of you have a desire to do game programming. There's always a handful of people that like to do that. So there's game programming, programmers for Google, for Facebook, all those different web apps out there. Rocket programmers, we got a lot of those at Raytheon's now, right, here in town. So programming also covers a wide variety of stuff. Main thing we're going to talk about today is cybersecurity. And once again, cybersecurity covers a lot of things. Traditionally, when we think of cybersecurity, we think of defending from the bad guys. You know, that's kind of what my job has been in the past years. But there's also auditors. You can go through and audit things, and there's always a need for that. What we're going to be showing you today is ethical hacking. There's an actual job market for people hiring you to break into their stuff. The reason they do that is if you can break into it, well, that means they have holes and they need to fix them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first thing I want you to do, it's going to take a little bit for our virtual machines. We'll talk about what that is in a little bit to start up. So what I want you to do, if you want to participate, is go to this URL, http://juiceshop.pima.tech. Preferably in Chrome. You can do some of the activities in Firefox or Safari, but Chrome you'll be able to follow along, okay? Once you go to that URL, put in a name for a team. just use your name for now. It has to be something unique though. So, don't necessarily put in Mary. There could be more than one Mary in here. Put a number after it or something like that, right? All lowercase, and then click create. And that's going to start the process. So what that's going to look like, I'm going to put in my CBON123. And I'm going to hit create. And you'll see it start to go there. One thing you want to do is copy down this passcode. Just write it down. Just in case your browser crashes or something happens, you will need that passcode and the name you put in to get back in later. Okay, so just make note of that for later. And then once you see starting Juice Shop, we're going to go back to the presentation. So I'm going to move on. If you have any questions with that, throw it in chat and Will can help you out. Okay. So what do hackers look like? We see movies, Mr. Robot, you see all sorts of stuff. We see things on hackers all the time, right? Generally, they're portrayed something like this. Somebody, usually middle-aged guys in a dark room, huddled around a bunch of computers with screens all over the place, right? Occasionally, you'll see people wearing masks and hoodies. And I don't think I've ever seen one wearing a bank robber outfit, but the thing is, they make hackers look like these people that are hiding in the corners of society, right? Well, let's take a look at what hackers actually look like. So these three guys, 6, 7 guys, these are Chinese hackers. They're some good guys. They were part of a competition, and they cracked a Google Nexus 6 phone and won themselves $215,000 in prize money for being able to hack into the Nexus 6. So pretty cool. These guys, top Iranian hackers wanted by the FBI. So these are bad guys, right? But you'll notice they look like people you'd see on the street. Finally, this girl. This is at a conference in Las Vegas called DEF CON. I try to attend every year when there's not a pandemic. And it's the world's largest convention for hackers to get around to meet with each other, learn things. What this little girl is doing is breaking into a voting machine, and she was successful at it. She's 11. So the point I'm trying to make is anybody can do IT security. You don't have to have grown up on computers from 2 years old. So, okay, so here's what we're going to do today. There is a group called OWASP. Don't ask me the acronym, can't remember off the top of my head right now. But what they do is they look at website security, and they publish things every so often, say, hey, here are the top issues we find in websites that make them insecure. And what they've done is they've created a juice shop. So this is a lot like Amazon, or it's a web store where you can add things to your cart, check out, create an account, a little bit of social media type things in it. And they have made it with known vulnerabilities, so known ways to break into it for training purposes. So the things I'm going to show you today, we're going to find some hidden pages. We're going to break into the admin account on this website. And with the admin account, you'll be able to delete reviews, change pricing, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to do what's called a little bit of open source intelligence. We're going to find some people's email addresses and then break into their accounts on Juice Shop, right? Okay. Then we're going to find some hidden files that they didn't mean to make public, but that are just sitting out there on their website that might be normally more difficult to find. Now, we're doing all this on this Juice Shop. It's made as a training environment. If you do this on any other website, it's illegal. So don't do that, right? You can practice hacking on sites that are dedicated for doing this. And we have some resources. We'll send out some training sites and stuff that if you're interested, you can follow up and do stuff on your own later. Okay. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so when you switch back to your browser, you should see a start hacking. Hopefully everybody has that. I'm going to go ahead and go on into mine. And each of these, a bunch of these were already created. There we go. Okay, so this is your base front page of this website, of this store, right? You notice I can log in, I can change the language. I'm just clicking around to kind of just see what's there. There's an about us, a photo wall. One of the neat things is the scoreboard, which you may not have yet on yours. We'll show you how to find that. But when you first go to a website and you've been hired to test the security of it, do a pen test, first thing is to just kind of look around and see what's there, what are some possible things I could start looking at. So, you know, we have like the photo wall. Oh, this is people have shared pictures of things. When we go to log in, okay, they want an email address and a password. If we forgot password, okay, they have a way to remember a password. And they ask security questions. Okay, that's good to know. Their passwords have to be 5 to 20 characters. That's some piece of information we might need. So what we're doing now is we're just gathering information about the website. So I'm going to click back at the top to go back to the main page. Now what I'm going to do, every website or most websites have things that are hidden that you can't see, that there aren't links for you to easily find to get to them. So we're going to look for those real quick. So I'm going to go up to my menu in my browser, up to the View menu. Underneath View, there's going to be an item called Developer and Developer Tools. So I'm going to View, Developer, Developer Tools. When I do that, you're going to get a screen like this. It's going to split your screen. So what you're looking at here is the code. So the programming code behind the website. So what you see is what they've designed. The code behind it is what we really want to see though. So when it comes up, we're going to go down on the left side here, or middle section now, and click on main.es2018.js. This is something called a JavaScript file that has a bunch of data in it. And you'll notice it's only a single line, but it's really, really long. So down at the bottom, there's these two little brackets, bottom kind of center middle-ish. It says pretty print. If you click that, there we go. Now it puts it in a better format, and you'll notice there is 14,316 lines in this file. We are not going to try and read through this whole thing. That would be insane. So what we're going to do is look for some known pages or some known words that might that we might be able to find useful to break into the page. So what I'm going to do is do a find. So I did Apple or Control F on my keyboard. And what I'm going to search for is administrate, if I can type, administration. Nope, I'm just going to search for admin since I can't currently type today. And it shows that there's 3 of 10 if you look in the bottom corner here. So there's 3 of 10. So I'm just going to go through each of those. Do I see anything interesting? Ah, okay. Now, what you're going to see here, you'll see this path, administration, path accounting, path about. Any others? Ooh, path safe payment, path login, register. There's a bunch of paths here. Paths are what you see in the URL. So juiceshop.pima.tech/search. So the one here that I find interesting is administration. So I'm going to copy that, administration, and I'm going to put that at the end. See, does that path take us somewhere interesting? Oh, that's interesting. It says you are not allowed to access this page. So that page is there. We just don't have access to it. If it was missing, we would say it would get page not found or something like that, right? Okay, so we definitely found something we want to research more, administration. Let's close this developer tools there. We found what we were looking for. Okay, so administration, there's probably some special accounts that maybe need to log in to be able to access that page. So what we're going to do is log into something called an administrator account. And we're going to use something called Sql Injection. And it's going to be beyond the scope of this to kind of tell you exactly what Sql Injection is doing. But basically what it allows us to do is log into a website or make changes to a website without having to log in or do anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type a single quote, the word or, 1 equals 1, a semicolon, dash dash. And I know that makes no sense, but that's a little bit of programming called SQL. And that's going to do something very interesting. And then I'm just going to type in a random password. Now, this will not work on every website. Fortunately, it doesn't work on most. But if there's a website that has a known vulnerability called Sql Injection, this type of thing may work. This one does, so we're going to test it, and we're going to hit login. And when I am logged in, that's all it took. I didn't need a username, didn't need a password. Let's see who I'm logged in as. Admin at juice-shop. So now I wonder if I can hit that administration page. So what I did is in the URL, I'm replacing what was there with administration that we found earlier, right? Going a little slow, but what do you know? I can see every user on the system, all their email addresses. If I was storing credit card numbers in here, you can see how that could be a problem. If there's customer feedback, I don't like this company, maybe, I can delete all their 5-star feedback. So you can see how if you get in an administrator, you can do all sorts of interesting things, okay? But what I am going to do is take note while I'm here of a couple of these usernames. So I see a John and an Emma. We're going to use those as examples. But let's say I wanted to test the security of those accounts. Maybe I wanted to see, could I order things as them? Okay, let's give that a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to log back out. So I'm going to go to account and log out. And I went ahead and wrote down those email addresses. So I have those, Emma and John at juice-sh.op. And let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to try and log in. Now, I don't have Emma's password. You know, you can see random passwords don't work, obviously. Let's go to forgot password. Let's see what she has. Sorry, the password manager keeps Emma at juice-sh.op. Oh, company she first worked for as an adult. Okay, that's interesting. So there's some different things I can do with that. How could I figure that out? Well, one way would be go look at LinkedIn, go look at Facebook, go look at other social media. Does she ever mention that anywhere? Okay. What you'll see a lot of people do, a lot of hackers, We'll go onto Facebook and you'll see those like surveys that you get. Hey, what's your, favorite time of the year? What's your favorite color? Well, what they've done is they've gone in ahead of time and done a forgot password and looked at what all the questions are. And then they build a survey based on people's forgot password questions. Now, when you think, hey, let's answer all these questions, share it out with all my friends, they start answering it. This is all data that people can use against you or that you could use when you're testing security on somebody's website. So, company first worked for, I remember when I went to that photo wall earlier today, there were some posts there. This is their social media. And you notice there's one from Emma here. Huh, okay, so she posted an image. Now, she may not have thought anything about this image. She liked the front of the building. Her old workplace looks like a cool place to work. But let's open the image in the new tab. Okay, I don't see anything obvious on it. But if I could figure out the address, maybe I could look that up and figure out what that business is, right? But I'm going to zoom in. That's as far as I can zoom in. But if you look at the sign in the window right here, it is ITsec. Huh, I wonder if that's maybe the name of the business. Let's go find out. So we're going to go back to her account. Forgot password. Emma at juice ssh.op and ITsec. Let's see if this works. I'm just going to set it to the word password. That fits their requirements of 5 characters or more, and hit change. Successfully changed. So I got Emma's password, didn't have to guess it, 5 million random passwords trying to log in with each one or anything like that. I just did a little bit of research and detective work because of her forgot password question. Okay, I'm going to show you one more of those using another tool. What this is called is essentially open source intelligence. What that is gathering information about a company, a website, a whatever, that you can find freely on the internet or through other sources. You don't have to do wiretaps for law enforcement or anything like that. It's things you can easily find or are available out there. So the other one that I noticed on this wall here, I noticed there was John. And if you recall, John was one of the lists, one of the people in that list when we went in with admin. So we know John, and he says, I love going hiking here. Now, when I did this one earlier, so forgive me for jumping ahead there for a minute. When I try to log in, wrong spot, do it in forgot password, we can see what his question is. use-sh.op. Okay. What's your favorite place to go hiking? Okay. Once again, John, back at that image, gave us some information on there. I love to go hiking here. We don't know that's his favorite, but let's try it out. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to save the image. Okay. So I'm just going to save this to my computer. So I've saved it. Okay. It's just a plain image. You're welcome to save it to your computer. There's nothing wrong with it. Then I'm going to go to this website. I think I will make sure I send this to Will so he can post it in the chat here. There are many other websites to do this. Basically, what this is going to do is it's going to take the image and look at what's called metadata. So if you have a phone, for instance, you take pictures on your phone, and then you go into your photo album, you see how it shows where on the map you took that photo? That's metadata. So you've got the photo, but then you have this extra data attached to the photo, like where you took it, the time of day, date and time, what type of camera you used, all that sort of stuff is part of the metadata. And that's actually in the picture. So sometimes you can come in, find the file. So this one I just downloaded, I'm going to hit choose file, and I'm going to open it up. And I'm not a robot today, so I'm going to view the image. And here's what you'll see. And you can use, I encourage you to use this on your own images. Try them out, see what you can see on them. For this one, I don't get too much except GPS coordinates of where it was taken. Okay, cool. The nice thing about this website too is it gives you a Google map. So I can just click that and it will take me to that exact location where that photo was taken. Pretty cool. So here it is. So now from here, this is where hacking takes a little bit of tenacity because what is his favorite place to go hiking? Okay, we got this Scuttle Hole trailhead. Let's zoom out a little bit. Dutch Branch, Roxdale Campground, you know, Gordon Branch, Newcastle River. He could have used any of these, right? So there might be several different things that you may have to try. Now, I already did this for us, so I know what the answer is right now. It's Daniel Boone National Forest. Okay. So the point is you may have to go back and try multiple things, but let's go log in. Forgot password. John at juice-sh.op. Daniel Boone National, what was it? Daniel Boone National Forest. Did I put a space in? I'll find out. And once again, I'm just setting it for password and successfully changed. So now just to show that worked, I'm going to log in as John at juice-sh.op and password. So I'm in as John. Now, you may say I was already in it as administrator, so I could have just reset everybody's passwords from there. Well, that's a possibility, but I also could have gotten John's and Emma's email from a Google search or from anywhere else on the internet. So I didn't have to get it from there. I could have gotten theirs from other locations, then gone in, done their forgot password, and searched around. Okay. Any questions or anything to bring up, Will, that you've seen on chat?
Yeah, there's just a few difficulties, but we're working on those. And there's just so you know, there's a big lag between what you're saying and when it gets to YouTube. So they're just a few seconds behind here.
Okay, gotcha. So I will give it just a second before I jump into the next spot then. So the other thing we see a lot of, you'll see like a news article about some company lost all their passwords or they lost a whole bunch of data that was just out on the internet. You'll see something referred to as like S3 buckets or something like that. Basically what that means is they accidentally put stuff out on the internet that they didn't mean to. When we do a security evaluation of a website or a company, you always want to look for that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you one way to find that. So basically you just have to start looking through searching the site, right? So I'm going to go to the menu up here and I'm going to go to About Us. And, you know, you would normally look at each one of these links. You would start what information is on all these different links. What I'm going to do is click on this link, our boring terms of service. Okay, great. You normally never want to read terms of service, but what I notice is up in the URL See this little thing that says FTP? That is file transfer protocol. And this legal file ends with .md, which is not the normal HTML. So this file is being shared out, not a normal way. It's just something's not right about it. So what I'm going to do is delete legal.md, and I'm just going to hit enter after FTP. So this is what's called a directory listing. So just like you have folders on your computer with a bunch of files in them, you know, you save all your homework into a homework folder, right? Something like that. FTP is a folder on their server with a bunch of files in it. And there you go. They've put stuff up there, and they may have put stuff in here that they didn't mean to share out. So coupons, that could be interesting if there's coupon codes maybe to get discounts. Acquisitions. So let's click on that one. If you were a company about to buy out another company and you were on the stock market, acquisitions, this could be a huge issue. This could do a lot of damage to the company having this type of information out there. Okay. So we can look at quarantine and we'll see, oh, malware, that's not good. Don't want to do that. Let's look at coupons though. So if we click on coupons, tells us we can't download it because only MD and PDF files are allowed to be downloaded. Huh. Well, what kind of file is it? It's a .bak file. So how are we going to download a .bak file? Well, what we can do, it's just a little programming trick. You put a %, 2500 .md. MD or PDF, one of the allowable file types, and hit enter. And I don't know if you can see, but it's prompted me to download it. And I have downloaded the file. And when I open it, it gives me coupon codes. Okay. So that is finding files that are not meant to be shared. Okay. All of these things, there's a ton more on this Juice Shop. I'm going to go back to the main page here. So the one thing we didn't show you is, actually, I'll show you this. See how it shows solving challenges? It's keeping track of what we're doing because this is for training, right? And it's giving us points. So this is actually a game we're playing, believe it or not. And they've got a scoreboard. The way you get to your scoreboard, you won't see it there yet. You have to go to the URL first, and then it will show up. So you put score dashboard at the end of your URL. So juiceshop.pima.tech #/score dashboard. Here are all the different challenges and if you have solved them or not. The green ones are ones we've done here in class or here in this presentation. As you do them, they'll show solved. These orange ones are interactive tutorials. So if you guys want to do this on your own later, you can come back in, click on an interactive tutorial, and it'll walk you through it. Then at the top, we have difficulty levels. So if you want to just look at the level 6 difficulty, I wouldn't start with those, by the way. There they are. No tutorials on those. But I'd start with the level 1. And there you go. If you only want the ones with tutorials, there you go. Okay. So it's a great way to learn how to start security and come aware of some of the tools and stuff that you have out there. Okay. Any questions at this point, Will?
No. I'd say the the one thing to cross is that a lot of the hacking is not necessarily easy,
Yes.
and it takes a heck of a lot of patience.
Yeah. So what we just ran through would normally take hours. Okay. We ran through it because we had, 50 minutes to do this presentation. So I went through, looked at how we were going to do, picked them out, knew what we were going to do before getting there. You could see how, like, just to find that this terms of service one right here under the About Us, you would have had to click all over the place to find that. And then you would have had to look at each URL and find that FTP. When we looked at the code earlier using the developer tools, there's that whole list of paths, remember? And we just picked out administrator. There's a whole bunch more there. They all need to be checked out. So IT security, going back to what Will said, is a lot of perseverance. Yeah. So it's, if you like puzzles, you like to figure out things, assemble a bunch of things together and get a big picture, and you're okay with spending hours not being able to figure out a problem until finally at the end you solve it. If that kind of thing appeals to you, IT security is a great field to be in, because that's what you need. It's
a lot about figuring out how things work and why, right? That's the big part of the puzzle. And in the midst of that, you pick up some incredible skills. And the whole idea is, if you learn how to hack, then you have a much better idea of how to protect. Because just working in an IT in general, you have to learn how things work and why, and trying to hack things and trying to learn where the holes are so that you can protect them is a major part of IT.
Yeah, I mean, I like to use the castle analogy. Back in the day when they built castles, they were defending from attackers, right? And they built these castle walls. Well, that worked for a while until they figured out, hey, we can build big ladders and go up the castle walls. Okay, so now they put moats around the castle, right? So now you can't put the ladders up. Okay, so security is a little bit of a cat and mouse game, and you need to know how they're coming in to attack so you can put up the proper defenses. And once you put up those defenses, they're going to find another way around. And it won't always be technical. You saw when we did the forgot password, that was what they call hacking the human. What's human behavior? Oh, we like to share things. Oh, we put things we remember. So it's not always looking at the source code or knowing, what FTP means. There's a whole branch of security called social engineering. That's what they do, is they work on getting people to give out information that they can then use on hacking activities. So there's a lot there. I have some additional links that aren't on this slide that we'll share out with Sarseth, or we'll put in the comments of the video when this is all done. And it looks like I zoomed through that pretty quick, not having live interaction. So this Juice Shop site that we have here, the juiceshop.pima.tech, will be up for about another 24 hours. It's actually hosted up on Google Cloud Compute right now. So if we have it up there for too long, we're going to have to pay a lot of money for it. So it will be up for 24 hours, though. I'll leave it up. Tell you what, I will leave it up till 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you have time, feel free to check it out, use it in that time frame.
The other link is not working at the moment, unfortunately.
Oh, the bottom link?
Yeah.
Okay, so that bottom link is another site that you can go back to frequently, though, because what that site is, it's a single, the way we did this is each of you have your own Juice Shop. Because when you're hacking the site, it might impact, you can step on each other's toes. If you're doing one thing and somebody else is doing something else, you can cause issues with each other. So that's why we did one per person that's doing this lab. This link at the bottom, the juiceshop.heroku app, that's a single Juice Shop. Everybody in the world can access it. So they reset it on a regular basis. So if you go to it and it's down, wait a few minutes and it'll be back up again. So they just continually reset it throughout the day. So you might be working on it and all of a sudden it dies and you got to go back again. But that one, from my knowledge, it's up all the time or available all the time. So once we shut ours down, you can go back in there to do shop on Heroku and play around to your heart's content. If you get stuck, there are, and I will let you guys do the Googling, there are some tutorials and things to kind of give you hints and help you out with it too. So I would try and figure it out on your own first. You'll learn a lot better that way.
And if you really want to get into this and develop your skills, then other ways that you can go at it, if you Google Juice Shop, you will find where they create this. And you can also, using software like VirtualBox, create your own hosting server inside your own machine. Now that takes more skill and that takes more hunting, but that's what IT is all about.
Yeah, you can actually run this on your home computer if you wanted to. You don't even need to be on the internet to do it. So very handy. I encourage everybody, if you're interested in this kind of thing, to definitely try it out, learn on your own, and then once the cyber warfare range is up, feel free to come in there when they're open and learn from others too.
And in the cyber warfare range, we'll have things like this and a lot more where you can come and explore, and there will be people there as well. So
and we have had everything from 10-year-old kids to 60, 70-year-old people coming in there, all learning together. So no matter who you are not out of place at the cyber warfare range. So, okay.
Awesome.
I have a couple things that I'm going to ask Will to throw in the chat.
Okay.
I'm going to send that to you. These are just additional links that you can hack the box, the link to Juice Shop, a thing called SAN Cyber Aces, that's just online training. Not quite as hands-on, but videos, things like that to get you learning, and try Hack Me. And then the last one is just a YouTube video that personally, I just love this video. Will knows which one it's going to be. It's a social engineering video on just showing what social engineering is and why it's important and why everybody, even if you're not interested in IT, needs to know about security. So with that, I will end it unless we have any other questions.
I'm trying to get the stuff
Posted in there? Okay.
posted in there. It only likes so many characters.
Gotcha. Can't hear you there. There we go.
That's always the story with Zoom, isn't it?
I know.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you all so much for coming. I had a couple questions actually. So once the Juice Shop site is down, is back closed after, at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and people are just interested or just getting started with this kind of thing, where should they go first? So
definitely there's that Juice Shop Heroku app that the link is in there. That SAN Cyber Aces that he's also posting in the chat is a really good place to just get started. It gives a lot of the basics of security awareness, that kind of thing. And then from there, go to Hack the Box, the Try Hack Me, that kind of thing. And then once you've kind of learned some stuff on your own, or even before, come to the cyber warfare range and learn from others. Honestly, when what you're going to find is there's no way you'll know everything. Nobody does. So that's why getting in a group, get a study group together. If there's 3 or 4 of you or 10 of you that like to do this, do a Discord channel and start chatting, trying things out, doing it together. you'll find like on the juice shop here, two people might be working on one thing, another one working on something else, and then you share what you learned. And that is the absolute best way to learn this stuff.
Well, very cool. I just want to thank both Chris and Will for attending and doing this. We will probably try to do another hackathon at some point, and so we'll put out on SARSEF's social media about that. Next, we are going to, once we say goodbye and end this live feed, we will have on our main stage a video about health and biomedicine. And then you can take a little break for lunch from 12:30 to 1. We'll let you eat. And then at 1 o'clock, we have another live session where you can ask questions of our Amazon engineers we're bringing on and an IBM engineer. There'll be a live question and answer session on there. So thank you all for watching, and let's thank